you've had a couple of games like that this year, the Vanderbilt game, the BC game, just to go down the list where your guys have been really gritty and have come through. I mean, we are inching past that halfway point. What would you attribute the resiliency to?
Well, I think we talk about being a tough, gritty football team and finding ways to win. I think this day and age of college football, everybody's worried about the style points and how do you win. We just want to be 1-0 at the end of the week. We just want to find a way to win the game, and I think we've been able to do that. We're not probably as talented as we want to be, from top to bottom, or maybe as we thought we were, but we are as tough as we thought we would be. And then to me, that's the most important thing. We're having to replace a lot of guys that went to the NFL, and we've had guys really step up. And I think now we're coming together, and you can continue to see us get better and better each week.
I know the health of the team is dealt with in ways differently than it used to be, and that will all be identified at some point today and throughout the week. But how big of a concern is it, though, when there's so many reports flying around about various players? And you certainly don't look like the same team that started the season as you get on the plane in a couple of days for Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. The world doesn't measure excuses. They measure performance. And, the Tigers are going to take on the Tide down in Tuscaloosa, and we're responsible for putting a football team on the field that can execute. We're not going to make any excuses about it. We're going to go down there as a football team, and we're going to play to win. And that's our approach, and I'm never going to make excuses. It's the middle of the season. Everybody who's ever played football knows that in the middle of the season there's going to be injuries and different things that occur. And, that's why you have an 85-man roster, and you got to coach them up, and you got to make sure that they're prepared to go out there and execute. And that's what we're going to do.
And about that, this is not we've seen a couple of Missouri Alabama games, but not many. It's certainly I know exciting for your fans to make that trip. You're catching Alabama at a peculiar time. Just your thoughts on making the trip.
Yeah, I mean, an awesome environment. Something that when you choose to come to Mizzou or play in the SEC, you want to play in front of these awesome venues and to play the Alabama, which still is the gold standard of football. They're incredibly talented. They've got talent at every level: first-round quarterback, first-round wide receiver, first-round offensive lineman, first-round defensive players. So it's going to be an incredible challenge for our football team. I think there's a lot of overreaction about what they're at right now. I know people aren't used to them being where they're at, but they've lost 2 football games by 1 scores. I mean, you're talking about 3 plays would be the total difference in the season. So I think there's a really good football team down there in Tuscaloosa with really good football coaches, and they're 3 plays away from having a totally different feel. And so we're going to have our hands full.
Coach, I know you're a very successful head football coach. You would not make it as a Finebaum caller with that very calm attitude.
Yeah. Well, I think this day and age, everybody wants everything right now. And Kalen DeBoer is a tremendous football coach. His record shows that. The history of who he is shows that. And look, it's not always going to be perfect, and it's not always going to be microwavable. It's going to take some time. And I know nobody likes patience right now. But just have some patience, all right? Everything's just fine down there, and they're a really talented football team. We got a challenge ahead of us. We're going to have to really focus in on executing one play at a time. We can't let the stage be bigger than us. We went down to A&M, and we were really a hesitant football team, didn't play fast, weren't as physical as we needed to be. And so hopefully we've learned our lesson, because it's going to be a really unbelievable atmosphere, and it's going to be a real challenge.
I want to follow up on that, because I remember talking to you that day briefly when we were outside the stadium. That was so uncharacteristic, and I know that that was a couple of weeks ago, and you've won since. But talk a little more about what you learned from that experience, because it had to be a shock to the system.
Yeah, I mean, I think for everybody, I think we were kind of surprised. Obviously, we had a couple of things go against us early. Not the first time that a call's been reversed in the state of Texas, but had a couple of things that didn't quite go our way, and we just didn't respond the way we needed to. And at the end of the day, we have to be better. It really wasn't a ton different than Saturday being down 17-3. I think we were down 24-0 at half. and we just didn't really respond the way we wanted to or needed to. So hopefully we've gotten that out of our system, but this will be another one of those tremendous challenges that we have ahead of us right here playing number 15 Alabama.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on asking you to elaborate because there may have been one person in the audience who didn't understand that jab about the Texas line. But
Yeah.
I do want to talk to you about what you just alluded to, because it's so easy for a commentator just say, well, I don't know why Georgia can't get started faster. I don't know why. And it's easy to say, but you saw the results. When you come out of a game like that, you've had a couple now. What do you do to try to fix the beginning of the game?
Yeah, I think you have to go back to, it's all about execution. I think there's plays that maybe look good on the board, or you think they're going to work out a certain way, and I think it comes back to understanding the DNA of who you are, calling plays that your guys are very comfortable executing, so that there's no gray area. And really, that's on both sides of the ball. I think we came off of a bye week. I think as a coaching staff, we had way too much scheme in, and we tried to win it from the press box. And the reality of it is football's won by the players on the field. And players playing fast win football games. And so I think it was a great lesson for me. I take total responsibility for that. And I think hopefully we'll carry that lesson into this game.
How much